Hello. My name is Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks.
And my name is James Maynard, otherwise known as the Songbird. I'll be handling the chat tonight. Welcome to Lighting the Way. Granny raps and rocks and shares her wisdom, her insight, and her uncommon sense.
If she has any.
So anyway, please chat with us, and we'll see you up on the computer here, and Beth can talk to you directly.
If you are here when we are live. Otherwise, I will answer your comments afterwards. So, tonight I'm going to talk about, are we leaving enough time? And it's more than just time for love. And I mean all kinds of love.
Yeah.
Right? And if not, why not? And what is it costing us that we're not doing that?
Yeah.
And the reason that I put in this stuff about costing us, is people will say, oh, well, I have no time because I've got to do this and make money, or I have to do that and get this done, or whatever it is.
Or I have to pursue my hobbies.
I have to pursue whatever. And we don't realize the cost. We're so afraid that we can't afford to leave time for love. But we're not looking at what not leaving time for love costs us. So,
And we have several comments. Catalina says, good evening, and sends 3 hearts of love. Whoa. Back at you, Kat.
yes, indeed. Thank you.
And then Tracy says, hello, and sends caring. Thank you.
Thank you
for your caring.
And let us know if there is any problems with the audio. We think we're fine, but we always think we're fine, and then we find out we're not. And we have one more.
Oh, Elizabeth says hello, and she sends 3 hearts of love. Back at you, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Okay, we're getting love because we are leaving time for love.
We're leaving time for love.
So I want to tell you how this topic came to me, and I want to tell you that I am guilty.
Yeah.
Not always guilty, but a lot. Sometimes, definitely.
Oh, Elizabeth says audio sounds good.
Love
Thank you,
it.
Elizabeth.
Thank
You get the gold star.
Right. Just wait 5 minutes. Okay. So I have had a horrendous day, and on top of a lot of other horrendous days, and I've been very, very busy. And a little bit before the show, I just lay down. I thought, what am I going to talk about tonight?
Mm-hmm.
And my little doggy came running up and jumped into bed, but I was too busy to really pay attention to him. And I realized that suddenly that topic came to me. Am I leaving enough time
for love?
My doggy is like a little love machine sometimes. And when he's not, I'm very sad. But when he is, am I always taking advantage of it? Or am I just being, I notice it when it isn't there.
You do.
So anyway, that's how this topic came to me. So you would think that I had this all planned out and that I know what I'm going to say. No.
Things come to you.
Well, I hope so. And then I ran down. We ate dinner with my lovely hubby, who
Chef
made,
Boyard James.
That's right, who made dinner. And I told him the topic. So anyway, I want you to think about it for a minute. So what does it look like to leave enough time for love? Well, one thing is when I'm on to something or upset about something or trying to figure something out, I don't sleep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We've seen that. Karen, on this topic is perfect. Exactly what's on my mind.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my.
Karen, you are the one who's responsible for my day going like this, I'm sure, so that I would come up with this topic. So, I don't sleep because I'm too busy trying to figure out the problem. Well, I'll tell you something. Sleep is an act of self-love.
It is, isn't it? Not to mention before you fall asleep, cuddling with your hubby.
Oh yeah, But I do cuddle with you, but my mind is
elsewhere.
So I am not leaving time for self-love. And why? Well, I'm going to get into that in a minute, but let's look at some other forms. So I was a little bit absent with my dog, and some people have kids and they spend so much time thinking about their jobs, or they think about whatever it is, the house payment, or or the terrible news, or whatever, and their minds are not on their children or the love that their children have, because in fact we get annoyed sometimes when people want love from us when we're too preoccupied thinking about really important things, like whatever those really important things are. And they always feel and seem more important in the moment. Now, do those few examples give you some ideas to think about yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Well, why don't you throw this in, James?
Well, I've found that in myself, I've had a pattern of when I'm feeling stress, I tend to withdraw into myself instead of reaching out for support from my wife.
Absolutely.
Or there are times when I would just prefer to pursue my hobby, like making music, singing, or it used to be golfing. You've heard of the term the golf widow. You know, where the guy just goes out and plays and plays and plays. I have learned to give the love a much higher priority, and it's been very rewarding.
That's lovely, but you don't do it that much.
Oh, I do it more than I used to.
Oh, well, and it's not only that, because not only do you have your hobbies, and we have the bills to worry about, and we have jobs to think about, or projects that we're doing, or buying a house, or selling a house, or what should we do?
Or usually the job things, you know.
Yeah, job things, or the political situation, that how much time do we spend reading terrible news that is only confirming what we already believe, but we're too busy for love.
It's not regenerating us either, and it's blocking us from love.
It is. In fact, that's a very important point. If we are putting time into things that make us angry at everybody and everything, we are actually putting our time into the opposite of love. And so it's not just like, oh, it's an absence. It's actually that we're doing the negative.
Pushing it away.
We're pushing love away because we're focusing on the non-love.
Yeah.
So, I have Lily sitting on my foot as I'm trying to pedal the piano.
That's our other doggy.
That's our other dog. So, why do we do this? Take a moment to think about yourself. Why do these problems take precedence so often? I don't mean that we should never think about them, but why do we put them first so often? Because one reason, and I'm hoping a lot of things are going to come to me tonight, one reason is we get validated for the things we accomplish. Nobody says to you, and how much love did you get today, James?
Or show, even.
Or show.
Oh, well, I don't know, but I was working on my project so that people would be very happy and pat me on the back.
So you are exchanging petting the dog or the wife for being patted on the back.
Recognition.
Now, I have to say that a lot of those projects were for me. So I really did need him to do
But we did them together, so we
them.
were able to share love and
Well,
work.
that's the thing. it doesn't mean that we have to stop doing things that interest us. It's the way we do them, right?
Yes, that's right.
You know, it's like, oh, I have to walk the dog. Oh, no. Oh, God, I'm so tired. I have to walk the dog. Rather than I have an opportunity to feel love, be outdoors,
And show the love for the doggies.
show the love for the dog.
Because we have two very loving doggies.
And,
It's our way of giving back and enjoying their company in another way.
well, that's it. You enjoy their company. So this is really showing love for yourself. So it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing the things that you're doing. It's that sometimes we need to ask ourselves, well, are we out of balance? Are we doing it with a loving attitude? Let's say, I really want to do this. It's really important to me. I have a deadline, or I have a lot of anxiety. Am I doing it in a way that feels loving to me or that feels loving to others? I don't think so.
Not if you're getting all stressed out about it.
Right. So we choose stress over love. Isn't that intelligent?
We have another comment. This one is from Todd. He says, great topic.
Thank you.
Thank you, Todd.
And
Oh, and then we have another hello. Hello, namaste. I'm Ravi Shamaling Rai from Kathmandu, Nepal. I like this program. Thank you very much, Ravi.
thank you, Robbie. You're so wonderful. One of our wonderful listeners that we see on a regular basis, which we really appreciate. So, your coming on this show is a way of loving yourself, because hopefully I am always going to tell you something that's going to help you increase your self-love, and also you get love from us. But it's like, oh, I haven't got time to finish the program. Oh, I only have 5 minutes because I've got to watch something on Netflix, or I've got to, do something that's going to make me money. Oh, yeah, that's very important. It's got to make money. That comes first. And it looks like,
Oh, and Amy says, how do you show or feel love when you're scared?
well, that's kind of easy.
That blots out love, too.
No, not necessarily. When
You
I
go to the
am,
person and say, I could use some support.
Amy just said,
Maybe I just answered my own question. Listening to your show with your wonderful audience is one way.
exactly.
Aw.
You're showing love for yourself by nurturing yourself
Yeah.
when you're scared. And it could be that you're asking for support, like you're talking about. But it's, it's like when we are scared, what do we need? Love. Pet the dog. A lot of people have discovered that pet therapy,
Yeah,
right?
pet therapy.
Now, why does pet therapy work? Because people need love. And unless you have a pet that's growling at you, which happens sometimes.
But if you're the one who feeds that dog, that probably he or she's not growling at you.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway.
They're especially devoted around dinner time.
Dinner time, right. Yeah, to say, well, I begin to recognize what I need is love. So this is really the beginning of the answer, Amy. It's wonderful because I have to ask myself at every moment what I need. And I don't. I say automatically, I think, oh, I have to solve this problem. Let's say you're in school, the clock is ticking, you're supposed to finish the test in a certain amount of time, and it's going, and you're getting stressed and stressed and stressed. Well, you are not going to stop. No, you're going to go through every test question as quickly as possible. You're not going to take time for, I think I need a little love.
I'd like to mention this here. When I was in college, I knew a guy who had a way of dealing with tests. And he said, I am more important than this test. And so he'd go in there as an act of self-love. He'd keep affirming that I'm more important than this, and he would feel more confident, more relaxed, and he did well.
Did better. And there's another
Yes.
comment.
Yes.
2 more comments.
Yes, Amy says, it's funny you should mention pet therapy. My cat curled up with me earlier, and that did help. Yeah.
See, you have answered your own question by recognizing that when you're scared, you need love. And we have another.
And Karen says, yes, that's for sure one reason I watch this show, because many things scare me, and I always feel love here.
Oh. Oh, and we feel
Karen,
loved by
when we
you.
feel the love from you, too.
Yeah, and that we need that. You know, a lot of people watch things like this on Facebook, and they're not thinking about that there's people sitting here. People with stomach aches or decrepit bodies or old age or problems or, you know, financial issues or fears or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it's like everybody's a critic. Everything. I mean, you know, you say anything, you do anything, you're always going to find people just like tearing you down. It's really amazing, isn't it? And yet, I know that I need love, and I would imagine that other people on the air need love too. They may not say so, but they do. I do. We're all humans.
That's right.
So
I need it too.
So why don't we all take a moment? I came on the show tonight, even though I didn't have a clue as to what I was going to say, because, first of all, I have a commitment at 6:30, and I've got to show up, right? And I got to open my mouth, and hopefully something will come out. But I feel love for my show, and I feel love for my audience, and I feel love for my husband and my dogs, and for humanity, believe it or not. And I just want to show up. So I am taking time for love. I could, by offering what I have, and I just trusted that I was going to be guided to say whatever needed to be said. Maybe I wasn't going to look brilliant. So I may not look brilliant, but do I have to? I'd rather come to the show and feel love and give love than sit on my you-know-what and hide out while I'm looking for the perfect thing to say that's going to get me a lot more viewers. And in fact, speaking of that, would you please follow this page if you don't already? It would really be an act of love for us if you followed the page. It would be an act of love for us if you loved the show or liked it. It would be a super delicious act of love for us if you shared it with people. Every time I see a share, I feel love. So I didn't come on the show tonight out of a sense of obligation. I came onto this show out of the love that I feel for my audience and our audience, and the love that we all feel.
You know, a lot
when
of this
we do
for me
it.
comes down to making love a priority.
Exactly.
So often I have moment-by-moment decisions to make during the day. Well, let's see, am I going to go upstairs and do a project on my own? Or am I going to connect with Beth? And, and let's feel that mutuality and that synergy that we can have together. And so more often, all the time, I'm choosing the latter.
You know, love is habit forming. Self-care is habit forming. Love of others is habit forming, because when you do come on and share your love for us, and we love it and we appreciate it, you begin to have a positive feeling about your contribution, just as we are having a positive feeling about our contribution. And at that point, I'm not looking at the numbers. Oh, how many people like the show, and how many, we're not in the top of Facebook's algorithm, and and they've gotten so terrible. It used to be we had a lot more viewers because they sent our videos out more, But it doesn't matter because the love that I receive from you is better than 50 people clicking like who haven't even watched it or listened.
Mm. Yeah.
So let's make love a habit, because what it costs us not to is we are empty, we're sad, we're lonely, we're scared. We're driven by fears and anxieties that we don't even recognize. And it makes us sick, it stresses us, it damages us physically, spiritually, emotionally. So think about that. That little time that I took, because I did pet Charlie when I started thinking about the topic. I said, I've got to put aside this thing that I'm working on here and take this moment. I never know when Charlie is something's gonna happen to him and he'll be dead, or I'll be dead, or James will be dead, or the day will be dead. And I haven't taken time for love, and I'm out of balance, and all stressed. And that's a big price. So let's all start doing it. Anything that you would like to add before we wrap it up for the night?
No, I think I've shared what I wanted to share.
Well, I am going to play a little bit of piano for you, which is going to be an expression of love for you and from you. So what do you think that?
Well, I love it.
All right, let's see what's going to happen. So music is definitely a way for me of expressing love, and when it's received, I feel loved as well.
That was lovely.
Thank
And I
you.
felt very nurtured by that.
Did you? I'm
I did.
glad. And tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific time, we have Magical Improvs. And I don't know what's going to be on the show tomorrow night because I'm having unbelievable technical problems, which is what I've been working on for days, to try to get our music. But we will certainly have the piano. And just so delighted to be with you tonight and to share that love. And come back tomorrow night and feel the love of the music. And there, oh, goody.
Oh, and Amy says, thank you, Beth. That was beautiful and loving.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Amy.
focused on that instead of like, oh, I'm going to impress you. I'm going to impress you. So let's all do that. Let's stop trying to impress each other and let's start trying to love each other. So love the show. Share the show. Come back next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Follow our page if you want to. And tell your friends about Lighting the Way. Granny Raps and Rocks. Until next week. Till tomorrow.
Oh, yes, till tomorrow.
Oh.
Or the next time we see you.
And Karen said, I feel nourished as well. I
She
love
said,
you guys.
Yeah, wonderful.
We love you too.
Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.